But yeah. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. It's weird me not being in control of this. That's weird for
Good
me.
morning. You've probably joined us at a stage where both Bev and I were mid in conversation about how this industry has brought people together to support each other. It's saying it's having trouble streaming. I'm just checking my Facebook group to see whether it's appeared. It's been doing this quite a lot. Yep, nothing. Has anything appeared on yours, Bev?
I've turned on my phones off and everything, but if it's not mine, obviously I'm not taking over. But if we're live right now, if you want to put in the chat box that you can hear and see us okay, we'll just leave it a couple of minutes to make sure that people can hear and see us. I didn't realise it started straight away because I was just chattering on to you, weren't I?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's actually live on mine, but I will carry on and I will record this and upload it to mine. So it looks like it's live on yours. It's got green tick on it. So hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. In the Maverick Revolution, we've started doing Facebook Lives to introduce people who will inspire me and help our industry raise the profile, so to speak. And what better way to raise your profile than actually attending events? So I attended Accountex North in September last year. And the first thing I saw when I walked in there was Bev on stage with Johan. And it kind of got me thinking, although it wasn't a subject that it was near to me, it was more of a subject that the way that they were engaging people, and people were standing, all the seats were gone, people were standing everywhere, even vendors were coming to watch them. It really got me kind of clicking. This is really what events are all about. So tell me, Bev, all about you and sort of like what you do now, kind of thing.
We are live, by the way. I've just checked my LinkedIn. So it's
that's cool.
And apologies if we were chatting when we started to go live. I didn't realise we'd started. That's not very good, is it? No. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much, Natasha, for inviting me on your show today. So, like I said, it's weird me not being the host, but that's fine. I'll try not to take over. I'm Beth Flanagan. I've been an accountant for literally like forever. 30 years this year, I think it is actually. Started off in industry, so I worked for big companies like Royal & Son Alliance and Daily Mail and things like that. And I created my own accountancy practice and I successfully ran it for 17 years and sold it in 2022. Now I've got a business called BFF, Beth Flanagan Financial, and I do exactly the best job in the world for me right now, because as accountants and bookkeepers, we love to help people, don't we? And that's what I'm doing now. I'm helping other accountants and bookkeepers to grow their practice, because every single one of you watching this will exit your business at some point in the future. Might not be yet, might be next year if you want it to be, might be in 20 years, might be in 50 years. But the moral of the story is run your practice now at the best it can be, at the highest possible value it can be, and to see your business as a saleable asset for when the time comes that you do want to exit it. Because I do feel a lot of accountants and bookkeepers feel a little bit overwhelmed, and they do things on their own because that's what they think they should do. And therefore, they're not really building that asset. And they're not going out and speaking to other accountants as well, which is obviously the topic of this conversation. And I was silly in the beginning. And I've said this before when I spoke on stage, etc. You probably heard me say it, Natasha, that in the olden days when I first started, like if an accountant or a bookkeeper wanted to connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn, I literally was like, oh my word, why do they want to connect with me? They're going to pinch me prices. They're going to pinch me clients. They're going to want to copy me. That was ridiculous. And if you feel like that now, please don't do a Bev in the olden days, because that's the worst thing I could have done. Accountants and bookkeepers are so helpful with each other. There is tons of work out there for all of us. So as we help each other, it's such a great feeling, and it's collaboration, not competition, really. And attending these events is a massive part of that.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it does scare us, and I think it's totally out of our comfort zone. We've been locked down in COVID, everything's shut down. Lots of people were retaught how to run their businesses, and now these events are really thriving again. So my first question for you is, what is your top tip for somebody who's never ever ventured to one of these accounting events before?
Oh, can I just have to give you one? I've got loads.
Oh, go on then. How long have you got that? Yeah.
The top two tips, if that's okay. Yeah. The first one is a bit quirky, and people have said this before, but it's totally true. Wear comfortable shoes. Yeah. I've done this before where I wore heels all day, and I've gone home. I've got like a million blisters on my feet. But no, in all seriousness, no, you are going to be on your feet quite a lot, and you're going to be walking around and speaking to different people and stuff like that. So please be as comfortable as possible. It's not a fashion show, so you just be as comfortable as possible. But one of the biggest tips as well is prepare beforehand. If you've never been to an accounting event, an in-house, in-person event, they are absolutely brilliant, honestly. And they're for everybody, whether you, like I said, never been before, or whether you've been to millions, whether you just started your business. Oh God, Sam's just put me off.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was warranted to post it on screen. That is just scary.
Sam, stop telling everybody what you do on a Saturday.
It's probably the Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of thing, which is there, isn't it? You're not going to
put me off then. What I was saying was whether you've been before, whether you've not been before, whether you're just new in practice, whether you've been in practice a while, it's for everybody. But if you haven't been before, like I said, wear sensible shoes. Make sure you plan beforehand, because all these events will have got a website, landing page, whatever, social media content that shows you exactly the itineraries for the day. So some events will have multiple speakers speaking at the same time on different stages. Other events will just have one stage, one person, so you can see everybody. So whatever event you go to, make sure you familiarize yourself with that format beforehand, and 100% have a look and see which speakers you want to see, which events you want to go on and sit in the audience and soak up all that information that they're going to give to you. And also, what vendors do you want to go and speak to on there? Because a lot of vendors are there as well, that a lot of the big well-known ones, and also, which is really good to see, a lot of the new ones that are coming on the market now as well, they're attending and having stands at these events. So have a look at who's going to be standing, which companies you want to actually go and talk to, and then make that conscious effort to go and talk to them and watch these presentations. Because what can happen, Natasha, is if you've not been before, you get there, first of all, you'll feel really overwhelmed because it's the massive venues, and like, whoa, where the heck do I start here? And then you don't really start, if you get what I mean. You just wander around aimlessly, and then before you know it, the day's over and you've not got to watch the speakers that you wanted to speak at, or you didn't get there on time, because like you said, they fill up pretty quickly, and you need to make sure you've got that seat to sit there and listen and watch and take the notes. And the vendors, you need to make sure you go and see them as well. So preparing beforehand is brilliant.
I think that was totally me when I went to Accountex North. I got there, watched yours, because yours was in the doorway as you come in. It was right there in the corner. You couldn't miss it.
That's because mine was the best, you see.
See, that was it. It was just like you walked in, it was you and Johan talking, and that was it. You were lost for half an hour, and it was fabulous. But I kind of lost myself then, because it was the first kind of real big event I'd been to. And I ended up just sitting on a table for nearly an hour, because I was on my own. I came with some lovely ladies from the ICB, but they were all had their own kind of agendas. I'd not planned. So I felt like I hadn't gained what I needed to the expense and the time taken, because obviously going to Accountex North was Manchester. I live in Lincolnshire. So it was a good few hours each way on the train and getting there. And I felt that I'd let myself down, not the event. The event was probably fabulous, but I was like a headless chicken. I was running here, though. I didn't know. I had no plan. I had no goal. And this year, I'm so much more planned. I am going to other events. So I think I will have a really good plan. Now, you are going to be attending quite a few events this year. I've already seen you as one of the headline speakers at the QuickBooks event next week.
Yes, so excited about that.
Yeah, that's really quite good, because I know that one's one of the most popular events, isn't it? Yeah. It's kind of like the kickoff of the year for events.
Yeah.
What's your talk about there? What are you going to be discussing with accountants and bookkeepers there?
So I'm going to be giving some practical tips for sort of scaling your business and helping you to achieve quite quick instant wins to get more sales into your business. So I'm giving 5 away, although some of them are broken down, so there's a little bit more, and there's tons more strategies to obviously implement into your practice. But I'm going to give 5 quick tips for you to action straight away to get that money into your bank account, that then can enable you to either get team members, whether in-house or outsource, for you to be able to step away a little bit and work on your business rather than in it. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. And you know what I'm like, Natasha, I can chat forever. So I think I only have like 45 minutes. I wish I could talk all day, if I'm being honest, but it's going to be great.
It sounds like an inspirational talk that would get people motivated. And I think that's what we have to look at these events and talkers to see what is personal to us and what maybe our future will hold as well, because one of the things that I've been looking at is not where I am now, but where do I want to be? So I've been looking at inspirational talkers of who I want to see at such events as definitely the Fab event. So which event out of all of them? Because there's 5, I think, this year. We've got the QuickBooks one shortly. We've got FAB next month. Then we've got DAS. Then we've got Accountex, and then you've got Accountex North. Which ones are you most looking forward to attending this year, or do you find them all different and different kind of things there?
Exactly, they're all brilliant and they're all different. Now, unfortunately, I can't go to DAS this year, but that's only because I'm going to be in Egypt. Otherwise, I would be. I'm on holiday that week, but I would be at all of them. And DAS is something totally different, right? I don't know. Did you go last year? Or was that
no, see, that I'm probably DAS wouldn't suit me because I think it would be too much sensory overload and music and things like that.
I was going to say, be prepared for the lights, and because you walk through it last year, I'm presuming it's going to be the same this year, but it is brilliant. It's different. It's a good different. When you walk sort of through the doors, it's like last year it was like all in darkness. Well, not darkness. They didn't have the bright lights, but then they got like luminous lights and stuff like that. And then obviously they had the little disco at the end and stuff. But yeah, different, but really good as well. And that's in London. And that's over 2 days, I think, this year.
It is, yes.
Accountex London and Accountex Manchester, usually they've always been my favourites. I'm sorry to say for the rest of them, but I just think that because they've been going a long time. Not that the others obviously can't get to this, but because they've been going a long time, and I've been going a long time myself in this industry. I've been attending those events for years and years and years, and like now, obviously doing what I do in BFF, I can present on stage, and I did last year in Manchester, like you said, and even my suit matched the carpet, so that was good. And then I'm speaking again this year in London at the London event as well. So they're just really good, and they have different speakers as well, which I like. So you obviously see the same vendor, a lot of the same vendors at different events, but I like the range of different speakers. Like you just said there, you're looking at long-term planning for your business, which every bookkeeper and accountant should do anyway. But they've obviously got like the sort of compliance type speakers. They might have a HMRC going. They'll have got tax experts that's dealing with sort of tax industry related news at that moment in time. And then you've got other speakers like me that can help you with your practice and your practice growth and stuff. So then there's stuff like all around AI. And things like that. So I like the diverse range of speakers and speaker topics at Accountex. I think that's always really, really good.
Have you had a sneaky peek of who's talking at all of these events? And if so, is there one person that you really don't want to miss watching their speech this year?
Me in QuickBooks next Tuesday.
Okay.
I'm here to Accountex in London. No, I'm only joking. But there's not one person that I can pinpoint out, because of all us speakers are all sort of experts in our own different ways, aren't we? And our different personalities and how we present on stage and what we deliver. So, we're all different. So I would, if I was you watching this right now and thinking about going, have a look at the different speakers at the different events, because one person might be better for you, that might not be as good for another person, if you get what I mean, because of personalities and things like that. So I'd have a look around and see what's the best ones. But there's not one person stands out to mind to me, because all of them are all brilliant and they all bring their own uniqueness, if that's a word. One thing that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this or not, so I better not do. But I know the keynote speaker. I know what the keynote speaker is for Accountex London, and he is amazing. So I'm not going to say it, because just in case I'm not allowed to, but watch this space for that, because he is amazing and brilliant.
Fabulous. So we know he's a male. So that's
we know he's a male. He's motivational. He's a motivational speaker, and you will be motivated after you've watched him. Is brilliant. He's not an accountant. He's sort of, because he's a motivational speaker, but yeah, he's really good. So watch this space on that. I'm not going to say more, because Caroline will kill me if I say it, and I'm not allowed to.
I can only guess who he is, and I've probably got some ideas, but because of his profile sort of appearing in accounting circles at the moment. But so for those who sit behind the desk and always watch webinars and things like that, and they have probably issues like me, who suffer a bit of anxiety, like nervousness.
Yeah.
Is there one real key point that you can give them. I mean, I think you started off great by saying that we are a community. We have gelled more as a community, our world, in the last 2 years than I have never seen. I've never seen, you have those naysayers and those negative people, but the positive people weigh out them completely. Yes. What would you say to those people who are still struggling to make that decision to come along to one of these events?
I think you've got to try it to see, you know, it's all well and good us two sat here saying they're brilliant, we've been to them, and I've obviously been to tons. You went to your first big one last year, which is brilliant, by the way, and now that you're going back to them, that actually proves the point, doesn't it, that, you know, like you've said, if you're a little bit sort of you were a bit hesitant and going at the first place, one, it was brilliant because you went on your own.
I did.
And two, you're going back, so that's a testament to how good they are. But if you're watching this and you are a little bit reluctant, but you can see that everyone's raving on about these things for good reason, why don't you reach out to somebody in your group, Natasha, or wherever, me, anybody, and meet up when we're there, so that you don't feel that overwhelmed going by yourself. But I think if you do have sort of that helping hand with you, and you've prepared beforehand, like we've said before, looking at who you want to speak to, what vendors you want to see, that'll be the best way for you to start to attend these events. And you don't have to stay all day. I mean, I advise you to, because if you're spending the time and effort, you know, getting to these events, if it's not in your location, obviously you've got a few travel costs there, trains and whatever. But so I would advise you to stay. But if you do feel overwhelmed, you can always leave. It's not like you're stuck in there, they lock the door and lock the key. So, but planning is the best thing. And if you've got somebody that you know that's going to be there, you know, like you'll see people, like a lot of people starting to see you online like now, aren't you? Yeah. You see me all over the place. You see Lucy Cohen and all these other people that are there, Amanda C. Watts. Just grab them, just grab us. Yeah. We won't say, I can't talk to you, because like you said, we are one big community. We all want to help each other. So just don't try not to be shy. If you see somebody that you've recognized, that you see on social media, online and stuff, just please go up to us and talk.
I think I did that to you. I went up to you. I know who you are. You might not recognize me. And then you went, oh, and then it kind of penny dropped, because obviously I've always been behind the screen and never actually in front of it. And I came up to you and you gave me the warmest welcome when I did meet you at Accountex North, I think. And I was really proud to see that these new events, such as the Fab event and Accountex, they've started making areas for quiet times to actually sit down. And that to me is a breath of fresh air. It's kind of listening to some of the people like me who struggle at these events to kind of have our break, recharge, focus again, and then go out again. So it was hats off to them that they've actually done this. It's really a massive proof. Yeah.
I was on the Accountex advisory panel. We met up in London last year, and that was one of the things that we said, that we needed extra space for people to go and sort of chill out and have like quiet time and a quiet zone together for people that just needed to collect the thoughts. And especially if it's a new place that you've never been to before, or a new event, that you might just need that 5 minutes on your own or with a friend, just to get out of because it is a hustle and bustle when you're in there. I'm not going to lie, it is busy. Because there are hundreds and thousands of people there. There's vendors all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but, you know, strategically placed, but and stages and stuff like that. So it is busy. But yeah, I think that is really good that they've got that little sort of area now. That would be good.
I think that was the great thing about Accountex North. They started having the tables and chairs there. So I was able to just put myself into the corner and sit there. And I had a really although I went on my own, I had a really good support team with the ICB ladies I travelled with there. And I knew that people were around there that knew I was a bit anxious and a bit wary. So hats off to the auto entry team there and stage team. They were always making me welcome. So that's brilliant. But
everybody does, don't they? Like you said, everybody does. It seems overwhelming, but when you're there and you start chatting to people, you very quickly start to relax and see that, yes, this is a community. Everyone's in the same boat. Everybody wants to help each other. And that's what makes it really sort of beautiful, really.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think these events just enhance the community feeling that we've all got. And like yourself and me, who have our online communities ourselves, we kind of build that even more, because I've already arranged with my teams in the Maverick group to meet up at these events. And it'd be great to actually meet people live, and we can learn and experience things together. And we're not feeling like we're all sole practitioners. So it is a good thing.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
I'm going to ask you a quirky question now. You've been to lots of these events. What is the best swag you have found at one of these events?
Oh, this question always comes up. And I can never answer it. The best one I've ever got. Yes, I can tell you actually. Well, it's not one that you can pick up. And to be honest, I need to do a social media post about this. So I think I entered a competition with Employment Hero. Sam, if you're still watching now, Sam's from Employment Hero. I won a coffee machine, and it's worth like about 300-400 quid. It's in my house now. That's from one of these events. I know QuickBooks always do really good quirky stuff, but usually, so last year I think you had to do like a little competition where they got Aaron and Johan were presenting. They were walking around with the microphones, and they were there at the time. They're brilliant, them too, aren't they, when they're doing the presenting? Ant and Dec, that's what I call them. They had a big wall of QuickBooks, and it's like you've got to, what was it now? I can't remember, but I think you had to put a ball in, and it went down, and if you got to like that space there, then you'd win this. If you got that space, you'd win that. And they had like battery packs and stuff like that. That's a good idea as well, to take little battery packs, you know, the ones that can recharge your phone. Because make sure when you're there to take lots of selfies with people and do little videos for your social media. If you don't do it, that's a really good way to start doing social media.
I was scared of doing that. I did one at Caltex North because I met one of my idols, James Ashford. Didn't realise he was as tall as he was. Yeah, I'm only 4'11", so the photograph's quite hilarious. So it's kind of like we just kind of squeezed in. But yeah, I'm very much scared of selfies, so that's it. But this is my most favourite.
Why are you scared of selfies?
I just I don't know what it is about me. I just don't like myself on screen, so I won't watch this again. It will be on my thing. And this is getting over my fear of actually attending things and people. So I'm doing.
You've got homework then for this one. The next ones that you go, you have to take selfies. You have to.
And I will tag you in them all.
Tag people in. But that's honestly how you grow your social media. But let's have a look at what your good swag is then. What have you got? I know
these are my top trumps. I absolutely think these are flipping awesome. It was
like Johans, aren't they?
And they are Johans. I got Samantha.
Yeah.
I got Aaron. So if Aaron annoys me, I can always stick pins in or something like that.
If Aaron annoys you, I mean, everybody's lovely.
No, I absolutely love them too. I think them two on a Monday morning is the best way to start the week because you listen to them and it's like another section of the community, isn't it? And when you see that they're going to be doing their podcasts at these events, you think, wow, you can actually watch it live and things. I actually appeared on one of their podcasts because I think Aaron was doing something anybody can turn up. So I went on and plugged my book.
Oh, did you do it in Manchester?
No, they just had a thing one day, and I think Johan couldn't make it, so Aaron was on his own and invited members to join his podcast. So I thought, I'm sat here, I've got a book just coming out, let's get it on there and
go for it. Yeah, exactly. They normally do the little. They normally get set up at these events and do the proper live sort of podcast with people, and then they do it afterwards. Because there's one of me on there, and it's really, really funny. If you've not watched it, Natasha, go and watch it. Because Johan, it's like bloopers before it started. Johan couldn't get his leg under the table, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like these two are a married couple, aren't they? It's so funny.
I did watch that because he put that out recently, and I thought that was quite good. But no, they are what I would call ambassadors for being community people. They go out there, they champion what they feel passionate about, which is QuickBooks, their softwares, and their podcasts. And this is what we should champion. Yeah, we should really champion people.
And they sort of can show as well, like what I said before about dressing for these events. And I was joking a little bit, but not really. Like if you want to go in your hoodie and jeans, then go in your hoodie and jeans. Like the accounting world has changed so much. We don't have to be in suits and heels, Sam, anymore. So, so you be comfortable in whatever you want to wear.
I did go in my jeans, my trainers, and my MotoGP t-shirt and jumper because it's something I felt comfortable in. And I was happy because I wasn't actually expecting to be anybody different. I was actually being me, and it felt
that's what you need to be.
The whole comforting thing, the fact that I could be me, and the persona of actually having to be suited and booted for our industry anymore has long gone, which is fantastic.
We don't have to for clients, do we? So we don't have to go to networking events like this is, because that's what it is as well. It's educational, obviously, and it's also a massive networking opportunity.
Yeah, it is. Right, I am going to end this now, and I want I will be having you back in a few weeks. So I've already asked you for something else, but I want to say thank you. I think the problem is we are all scared of jumping out of our comfort zone, and if we have people like you that openly welcome us to come and have a chat with you and say hi, and you're not, because no offense, people like you, people like see you
I don't know where you're coming from in the next bit here.
I see you guys as influencers, as people who are ambassadors of our industry, and sometimes we originally we wouldn't have seen you as approachable. Now I've actually met you and actually come up to you and say hi, and you weren't scary, you were lovely. I think we all need to embrace that big step out of comfort zone. Say hi to people who inspire you, who make you sing when you or make you go off and think, God, I didn't know I could do that. I've got a buzz in there. Go and say hello to your heroes. It's kind of a superhero kind of day.
Absolutely. Everybody that you see online, if you've never been to these events, and if you see people like me and other people that you see us online, because we're always posting, I'm just going to cough. Like you said, please come up to us and say hi. Like, we literally won't say I'm too busy or anything, because we're not. We want to help. And that's what our accounting community is all about. And that's what attending these events is all about too. And I really want people to come for the first time. If you've not been, come and say hello, be like Natasha, and then book in. You're ready. You add inspiration from that day, enough for you to now go to the next ones. And like I said, get that inspiration and motivation from the day to make you and your practice better. They are really, really good.
And the challenge for everybody who's watching and listening today is to see how many selfies you can get with Bev next week at the QuickBook event.
Yes,
that's what I want to see all over social media. I want to see her there having selfies with you guys, and then that's my challenge in Fab in next month, is to get as many selfies as many people as I possibly can.
Yes, and you can get them on social media and tag everybody, and therefore your audience reach gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's all good for you.
No, that's brilliant. I really want to thank you for your time today. As always, every time I talk to you, I feel like I've got a buzz in myself. You're really quite inspirational to talk to. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you to everybody who's listening. And I look forward to, are you at Fab next month?
Yes. Yes.
I will come and find you at Fab, and we will have that infamous selfie. Yes. So thank you, everybody. You're all brilliant. And I'll see you again. So thank you.
Bye.